Hello friends, and welcome to another Plan With Me video. This theme is for my March 2021 theme, so the theme for this month is something related with scrapbooking, scrapbooking, because I asked you on Instagram what color you wanted to see on my March theme, and most of you chose green, and I was okay with that because I wanted to do something scrapbooking to mix some vintage elements with green elements because that was a color chosen. And for this theme I decided to use this Tumble, that is the 192 from the Tumble dual tip collection. I also used black. I used some colors around the yellow scale, and I didn't actually show you on the pens that I'm showing you, but I actually used a lot of yellows too, and all the materials will be linked down below, so don't worry about that. And mostly the colors that I used were green, yellow and gray. For this theme I actually used the Sakura Pigment Micron in 01 size because that's a thinner nib pen. I think that's how it says, and I know that I'm showing you some other sizes, but I actually used mostly the 01 size. Also in this theme I decided to use my stencils from Notebook Therapy that they kindly sent to me to try, and I can say that I really loved using them. It's so easy and so pretty to add doodles to your themes. I actually already had these stencils on my setup in mind before starting it, so yeah, the main purpose of this theme is mostly to use these stencils. And now let's go to the theme itself. So as I said before, I decided to do a theme inspired in scrapbooking. I think I said scrapbooking, so I decided to make this collage that is really simple and pretty. I've been feeling like this is really therapeutic, and I won't lie to you because I like to be raw on my videos and on my content in this channel. I like this to be a safe place for everyone, including myself, and I have been struggling a lot lately after Valentine's week because I felt a little overwhelmed because my university classes started literally one day after the last day of Valentine's week, and I've been really tired and really low. I wasn't feeling quite alright, and I decided to make this theme this week, and somehow it helped me a little bit to feel better about myself, to feel relaxed. And when I say that this theme is relaxing because it involves being creative and just doing a collage, I mean it actually really was therapeutic for me, and I recommend you guys to try this type of themes because actually really perfect. Using my stencils, as you can see, I did some tabs for this month, as I am doing for the last 2 months I think. And I used the stencils again for making the tabs because they have 2 types. One is round edges and one is like the ones that I used that are more I don't know how to say that, but it's not round. Okay. And when I did this collage I saw that the background was really clear, very... I wanted this to be minimal, but I didn't like how the background of the spreads were looking, and I decided to use my gray pen from Kuretake Zik, and I did this grid vibe, grid style that I saw some people doing. I saw from Cat's Planner that this actually was a little inspired by a pen pal that she sent me, and I thought that it was a great idea to make a theme about it. And I actually also think that Heda from Bujo did a kind of grid on her. I don't remember what the month was, but I remember that she actually used a grid behind, and it looks really beautiful, I think, and it makes the page look filled, but not too much, if you know what I mean. So for this cover page, I decided to make the collage that I mentioned before. I did the doodles using my stencils that are mostly moons, stars, and clouds, and some circles. And I decided to write a quote. It's not actually a quote, it's just a word saying power up, so I get motivated because I'm on my last semester from my university and I need to power up to be motivated and to get the energy from somewhere. So I think that I said most about this spread. I did a little calendar, but yeah, that's the first two spreads from my March theme, so I hope you like it. Following up, I did my habits and moods tracker, and to be honest, I think this is my favorite spread from this theme because I used the habits stencils from the stencil set from Notebook Therapy, and I think I didn't mention before, but you can get these stencils 10% off using my code Danos Bujo, or you can click my affiliate link down below in the description and it will help somehow my channel to grow up, and it's a nice thing for you guys to do to support me. It's a win-win. You get a discount and I get a small commission from that. But back to the spreads. I used the habit trackers, or I don't know how this stencils is called, but I used for habit trackers, and for the round ones I used for my mood tracker. So for the habit tracker, I decided to make 5 of these stencils, habit tracker stencils, because March has 5 weeks, so I divided each week in a box to look like a post-it. That's the main inspiration also that I forgot to mention before, but this theme is like post-its and grids, and I don't know, it's a mess, but it looks beautiful and I am actually really proud of this theme and I really liked it. But yeah, I did 5 habit trackers boxes, and for the moods I decided to do 2 circle stencils or templates divided for half, and I'm sorry, my dog barked because my parents are playing with them for some reason now. But yeah, I did 2 circles for the mood trackers and 2 small ones to track my anxiety. After that, I decided to color the washi tape stencil with green and yellow, and I painted the boxes yellow, gray, and I did not paint green because I didn't like the vision in my head, so I decided to do just yellow and gray. That looks good, so I just went with it. After that, I did the collage because to make the theme cohesive, I did these collages for the titles of each spread. So I did for the habits a collage and for the moods a collage. I think that makes sense somehow, so I am just going to think that it made sense, and I hope it made, because yeah, I get a little tired at the end of the day, and it's currently 9 p.m. so I'm a little bit tired. So if I sound tired, that's the reason. Today was a long day and I just decided to make the voiceover so I could post the video on the day that I wanted, that it's Sunday. I like to post on Sundays, so that's why I'm doing this voiceover on a Saturday night. So I hope that I make sense, because in my head I just talk and I don't listen to myself, so I'm just praying for the best. But yeah, I decided to do this these shadows behind the post-its, so it looks more aesthetic, more beautiful, and I think it worked because I liked how it turned out. Let me know in the comments if you like to do this type of trackers, if you do this shading behind the trackers. If you like this theme, it also is a really good thing to know. And yeah, this is the habits and mood trackers. So the next spread is my sleep and work tracker. I don't know if you are familiar with this type of tracker, but I use it for almost 5 months, maybe. I don't count it, but I used for a long time this tracker, and it really works for me, and I really love it because I track my sleep hours and what I do as a work or job or maybe just studying. It makes me feel organized, makes me overview the day itself, and it's quite practical and it's really satisfying to fill this table. The layout is really simple, so you just have to color the hours and to make or just write what you did. For example, if I sleep from 2 a.m. till 10 a.m. I will color it in a color, for example green, and just write sleep. It's really that simple. So if you never use a sleep and work tracker, trust me, maybe you need one of these, because I don't do much in the day. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but it really makes me feel like I was productive and makes me feel good. So I really do recommend you guys to try this out, and if you do try it, please let me know. That's a thing that I really want to know, if my videos are helpful or handy, or if you guys actually try the things that I do, not just to recreate, but really if you try the spreads. That's the most important thing. And I think that's all I can say about this spread. I really hope you try this out. It's really handy. So the next spread is my social media tracker or social media spread. I don't know how to call it, but I just track everything about social media. For example, the growth every day. That doesn't sound healthy, but for me it's healthy because I like to see numbers and growing or not growing, to see how every day my social media looks like. And I'm getting a little upset about my dog barking while I do the voiceover, but I hope you like hearing him. It's quite, yeah, it's my dog. But as I was saying, I track the video process, and on the right side I track how the first day of the month, how I started with the followers / subscriber count, and on the last day of that month I write the followers and subscribers count, so I can see how my month grew on social media. I hope that makes sense. I actually made a whole video about social media spreads, and if you want to check it out, I'll leave a card on the video, and I'll leave down the description too, so you can watch it and maybe learn about this spread. That helps me a lot, honestly. And also on the right, I decided to make a box to write ideas and goals and all of that. I just did a clear box to write whatever I want, like a brainstorm or brain dump page. It's not actually a brain dump, but it will work like one, I think. I'm sorry if this video is a little long. I tried to short it as best as I could, but I wanted this theme to be minimal and simple, but I managed to make it more hard for some reason. But this video actually took 3 days to record, and that's also a reason why I'm a little bit tired, because I recorded it, I had classes, and I had to study, and I think I never stopped this week, and that's the reason why I'm tired. But I really wanted to post my plan with me video this week, so I think when you want something, you do it, so that's what I did. And I think that this theme itself, it's quite aesthetic if you think about it. I really liked making it, even though it was really tiring. If it weren't for the stencils, the doodles would be a lot. It wouldn't be as much doodles as I did, because that's why I used the stencils, is to make it easier. And yeah, I think that's all I can say about the background of this video. But this week as a whole, and I hope you find this theme interesting, and I really want to hear back from you, the feedback, those things, so I know what I can improve, what I can take off. For example, I want you to tell me in the comments, if you don't mind, of course, things that really can help me getting on the videos, so to know what I should do, what I shouldn't do, and yeah, that's what I really want to hear back from you guys. So the next spread that you are watching right now is my expense tracker and a line a day spread. For the expenses tracker, I decided to do this simple post-it thing where you just write a description, what you bought, what you earned, just that kind of things, and just to know the description and the price, just to make it simple, because I tend to manage to do these spreads in a hard way and makes me feel a little overwhelmed, so I want to be relaxed doing these spreads, to feeling, and I think that I did this simple version of an expense tracker, and I'll try it to see if it works. And I actually did a small post-it with a jar that comes on the stencil set, and I'll try to save money this month, because to be honest, I tend to get a lot of expenses and I don't get money for myself for my goals, and I'm really trying to work on that. I don't know if you can relate with that, but let's all hope that we can save some money, because I don't have a source of income yet, but I'm just trying to manage to get some money for myself and to spend on things that I want and like, and yeah, that's the main goal of this small jar. For the line a day, I just wrote the days on the left side and just did the lines with a gray highlighter just to separate each day. And yeah, that's the spread. It looks too filled, but it's actually really simple, so let me know if you use any of these trackers. I want to know from the things that I do, what you use on your bullet journal, just to know what the community actually uses and to see if we can relate with each other. So yeah, that's it. Last but not least, I'm doing the first weekly spread for March, and I decided to do these 7 boxes for 7 days. That is the first that is the amount of days for a week, and I decided to make it like mixed up, not lined up perfectly, because I wanted to make something different from the usual things that I do. And I used the stencils to make these banners for the days and for the weekdays, and I just played around with the paper that I used for the scrapbooking. I did the shading for the boxes, and I did a small calendar layout to write March 2021, and this is basically the first weekly spread. I liked this layout, and maybe I'll do it for the rest of the weekly spreads. I decided to leave the last page from these tabs, because I am going to work on a project on my university, and I hope it works well, and I need a space to write everything, to organize me, so that's the reason why I didn't use the last page. I think you can see that there is another page that it has to be. I colored the tops with the green colors and yellows, and that's basically this theme, I think. So here's the final flip through of my March theme setup. I'm sorry if I sound a little rusty or tired, but I actually am. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, turn on the notification bell to be notified when a new video comes up, and I hope you have a lovely day or night. Bye friends!